What's up everyone, it's Kelly and today I've got another swatch review for you. So today I am partnering up with Mooncat to show you their new Midnight Rodeo collection. But before we get into that, if you haven't heard of Mooncat before, they are a nail polish brand that is based in the US and all of their polishes are 10 free, meaning they are free of 10 of the potentially harmful ingredients that can be found in nail polish. They are also vegan, meaning they do not use any animal-derived ingredients, and they're cruelty-free, meaning they do not test their products on animals. So they just recently released this Midnight Rodeo collection, which is 10 brand new polishes in a variety of finishes, including 3 matte finishes, one of which is a matte flaky topper. So I'm really excited about these. Let me show you the swatches first, then we can talk a little bit more about my thoughts on them, pricing, availability, all that good stuff. So roll the swatch footage. So as with all of my swatch and review videos, I am using base coat underneath all of my swatches just to protect my natural nail and prevent any stains. Today I'm using the Mooncat base coat. So I'm going to start off with 3 shades that look really similar in the bottle, but they have some key differences on the nail. This first one is called Whiskey Sunrise, and it's described as a terracotta orange shimmer. So it's definitely got a duochrome vibe. Looking at it head on, I feel like I see this pinky, coppery kind of color, and then it goes into an orange, and then really depending on the angle, it can look almost golden. And what's really interesting about this one is that there is a little extra sparkle going on. It looks like there are some slightly larger flecks in here that add this almost foiled look, so you can see those little specks are catching the light differently. So it definitely adds a lot more visual interest to the polish. By the way, this was 2 coats and it looked gorgeous. Next up we have the shade Bootlegger, which as you can see in the bottle it looks pretty similar, but on the nail it's definitely a different shade. This one is described as a light brown shimmer, and this color I would almost describe as like a camel kind of color. There's definitely that brown in there, but there's strong yellow tones in here. And again, we have this almost duochromy vibe where at certain angles it looks a little bit more like a reddish orange color, and at certain angles you see more of that yellowy brown. So it's another really interesting one. Definitely a very dimensional polish, but this one has a different sort of formula. It's more of that very slightly pearlized vibe where you can see some of the brush strokes going down on your nail, but it's very subtle. And then the third similar shade is Dark Horse. Again, it looks similar in the bottle, but on the nail it is so different, and this one is a huge standout for me in the collection. For starters, it's this deep, almost blackened brown shade. Again, we have that duochrome pigment in there that at certain angles you can see more of this coppery orange color, and at certain angles you see this very yellowy brown. But what I love about this polish is it's this nice thicker formula that gave me fully 1 coat coverage. So I am so impressed with this one. Moving on, we have the shade Midnight Rider. This is another really deep shade. It almost has that blackened sort of look. Let me tell you, in the first coat, this is a very unassuming polish, but once I put on a second coat for full coverage, I was blown away. Mooncat lately has been absolutely killing it with these deep blue shades, and this one in particular is just so stunning. We've got this shimmery, dark, blackened blue color, but it is packed with a slightly larger holographic sparkle, and this just fully looks like a galaxy manicure on. I truly am in love with it. I gasped when I first applied it, and I just love that hollow sparkle. So now getting into some lighter shades, we have this color Sand Viper, and this one is a really soft, slightly sheer pink that is packed with a duochromy coppery orange gold shimmer. And I have to say, I love the way that this one looks in 1 coat. It feels like such an elegant, almost bridal kind of color, but you still get that extra little sparkle in there. But I did want to see what it looked like in full coverage. This is a more sheer polish, but since my nails are short, I did end up getting pretty full coverage in the second coat. If you have longer nails, you might need a third, but I love the way that this looked where you really couldn't see my visible nail line, but the color just blended in so nicely with my skin tone. Even though I'm very warm toned and this is on the cooler side, it just worked out really nicely. It's a stunning shade. And then we have my favorite of the collection. Actually, now that I think about it, it's a tough call between this one and Dark Horse, but this shade Moonrise is so beautiful. It's this sheer shimmery color that has so much going on in it. First of all, you can see all of that hollow sparkle in there. It looks so stunning in one coat, but it also has this gorgeous iridescent shimmer that head on looks blue, but it fades into purple, into pink, and then even at extreme angles, you can see some warmer colors. And I just love the way that this one looked. Again, it's just a nude but better kind of vibe, and that hollow sparkle is just so present in there, and it really transforms the polish. And of course, when I see polishes like this, I need to try them over black. Wait until you see what this looked like over black. I am blown away. Again, I just have to say, Mooncat and blues right now are just doing it for me. And this one over black transforms into the most stunning deep blue. Again, it's got this very cosmic vibe. It feels like a galaxy manicure in the bottle, and we've got all of that hollow sparkle just adding so much interest to the nail. So now let's get into the full coverage matte polishes. There are two full coverage ones, and this first one is called When the Devil Strikes, and this is a black jelly base that is packed with gold irregular flakies, and this one does dry down to a matte finish. Now it is a jelly polish, so it is buildable, but it is sheer. So you can see this is what it looks like in 2 coats, but I got full coverage on my nails in 3, and it looks absolutely stunning. I love that deep black color, but because it's a jelly, you can see through all of the layers of shimmer. And here's what it looks like matte. Absolutely stunning. It really does feel like such an elegant color combination, perfect for like a New Year's vibe. And then we have the shade Prickly Pear, which is pretty much the opposite of When the Devil Strikes. This time we have a super vibrant base color. It's this chartreuse green kind of jelly base, and it is packed with iridescent flakies, and they are super big. They're really colorful. The prominent colors that you see of the flakies are in this red, orange, gold kind of color scheme, and they contrast so beautifully with that intense green base. I feel like this is probably considered an ugly pretty color, but personally I just think it's very pretty. I loved the way that it looked in 3 coats. Even in its glossy form, there's just so much going on. It almost reminds me of like a snake skin, but it's super stunning when it's mattified as well, which is how it dries. So another shade I'm absolutely in love with. Next we have the shade Outlaw Country, and this one is a silver metallic foil polish, but it's a really deep color. It feels almost like a gunmetal kind of shade, and I love this one. It's super reflective, but it's actually a 1 coater. I am wearing 1 coat of this in the intro and outro of this video. I feel like in my close-up you can almost see my reflection, so it looks like the polish is not that opaque, but it truly is. So you can almost see in the second coat, I feel like you see my face pretty strongly in there. But yeah, here's what it looks like in 2 coats. It's not streaky because it has that almost foil look to it where you've got little specks of shimmer that kind of break it up, and it's just a really beautiful shade. Definitely going to be perfect for nail art. And last but definitely not least, we have the shade Fool's Gold, and this one is a matte golden flaky topper. And let me tell you, I will never get tired of a gold flake topper. They are just so special. I think they add so much to literally any color, and they're so beautiful and delicate. But what makes this one extra special is that matte finish. So I am absolutely in love. I paired this one over Dark Horse, and I think this combination is absolute perfection in its shiny form, but also in its matte form. And this is definitely going to be the next manicure that I wear because I am fully in love with this. I don't know why, but it kind of just like reminds me of designer bags. Is that weird? I don't know. I also wanted to try it over Outlaw Country because lately I've been enjoying the mixed metals kind of look, and I think it's so beautiful. It's definitely a little bit more subtle in there because it's such an intense base color, but it's so beautiful. And here are all the shades together. You can see that top row is the 3 shades that look pretty similar in the bottle, but you can see side by side there's definitely some strong differences. Whiskey Sunrise is more on that pinky orange kind of side, whereas the 2 other shades are more on the brown, and you can definitely see the difference between that lighter brown and that darker, almost blackened brown. And then we have all the other stunning colors. I really love this color scheme. There's something very earthy about it, but also also very sparkly and special, and I also think the shades are really unique, which is hard to come by these days because pretty much every color has already been created, but I feel like there are a lot of special ones in this collection that just feel very different to what I own. So I'm very pleased with them, and I'm also really impressed with the formulas. We had a lot of really opaque shades going on here, and I also appreciate having the option of more buildable shades if I want to show some visible nail line or if I want to wear them as full coverage shades. So a really nice variety going on here, but all the colors really work well with each other. So those are the polishes, and as you can tell, I am totally loving these. I love the colors. I love the inspiration, the desert sort of vibes. I think it's just so perfect for the upcoming season, and I feel like there's a lot of neutral but elevated sort of vibes going on here. So we have some shades that really work for any season, but they're just a little bit more exciting, and I really appreciate that. I'm also very excited about these matte finishes. I don't know why it is, but for some reason, a polish that naturally has a matte finish for some reason is just a little bit more exciting to me than having a regular glossy polish and applying a matte top coat. So I really appreciate that. But of course, if you don't like matte finishes, you can always put on a glossy top coat. Personally, I recommend using a top coat regardless. So if you want to keep it matte, they do recommend putting on a matte top coat just to prolong the manicure. Or like I said, you can do the glossy top coat just to keep it nice and glossy. All of these polishes come in the usual 12 milliliter bottles. They do have a wide flat brush with a rounded tip, so application's really easy. So I'm gonna link everything down in the description. You can check that out if you're interested, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts. What do you think of this collection? What do you think of the color scheme and the inspiration? Which color is your favorite? Are you planning on picking any of them up, or have you already? Let me know in the comments. We can chat about it. If you enjoy my swatch and review videos, please give this one a thumbs up. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I put out new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And of course, a huge shout out to my supporters on Patreon, my Royal Astronomer Amanda M, as well as my Cosmic Admirals, Rocket Man's daughter, Paula, Ken, and Rosie. I really appreciate your support, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye. Today's fun fact question comes from Patreon supporter Chrissy, and Chrissy wants to know, what are you most excited about for your new home? I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing it by now, but I did just recently move into a new place, which is super exciting. I have a whole vlog channel where I've been chronicling the move, and I actually originally meant to do a video sort of explaining room by room what my plans were, because it's really just a big blank slate right now, and I want to customize each room and make it, you know, exciting and have my touch on it, but I never ended up actually doing that. So I don't know. Do you guys want to see that? I don't know if it would be boring because I wouldn't be doing anything. I would just be telling you what my plans are. But I do have a lot of exciting plans for the house. Obviously, when I say I mean me and my partner Ryan. But I think the thing that I'm the most excited about is to have the bedroom done the way that I like it. We have some really fun plans for it, and I feel like the bedroom is always just kind of my sanctuary, and like that's my little safe space where everything can be just comfortable and happy. So I'm really looking forward to that being completely done. That's definitely the first room that we're going to be finishing up. Do I share what my plans are on here? I don't know. Maybe you guys should just watch the vlogs. But really, it is very exciting. There's definitely a lot of painting to do. There's a lot of customizing to do. So we're really excited about it. And I think the best thing is that we can really just take our time, although I am very eager to have everything done the way I like it. So trying to find balance right now. That is it. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.